Hey guys. Hey, it's Saturday, March, who knows what? and uh, and I'm here and I'm gonna get to make a video, so that's good. So I just wanted to share a couple of things. So let's see, what day of quarantine are we on officially? It's hard to keep track. I guess we could really kind of dial it back to when the schools we're no longer open, so it's about 2 weeks, and here in Ohio. And some of you may know or not know that I've only been here since last September. And I chose to come to this area because of the school system and things like that. And so, so anyhow, but yeah, so I today, my son, when he woke up, he told me his ear was hurting. So I made an appointment at the doctor's office. So we actually had to go out of the house today for an essential trip. And that's the first time that he's been out in public since any of this happened. And it did sort of feel like, I'm gonna be honest, like being like a kid in the candy store, and like just so freeing and liberating to get to go out. And kind of going back to what I was talking about in the last class, what was so interesting to me in all of this is just the level of judgment, again, that's existed about each person's actions regarding this quarantining effort. And for me, like today, I had to go out and take my son to the doctor, and as a result of that, there's a level of exposure that exists. And it's such an odd thing because way back, a week and a half ago, when all of this was starting to unfold, and I had gone out in public, so like a week and a half ago Wednesday, I had to go to the school that day, and I had to actually pick up my son's stuff. Well, it was optional, but of course, I was gonna go get all of his folders and things. And so I went into the classroom, and there was a couple of other mothers there, and the teacher was there, and anyhow, so we, interfaced, and then I really got kind of, read the riot act by somebody for the fact that I had gone out in public, and they didn't know all the particulars. But I found myself having to defend my actions, and I actually had to say, well, wait, I had to go to the school, and so the point is, it's been an interesting thing because I've literally felt like if certain people saw me going out today, I would have to defend that action. And I'm just not going to live in a reality like that. So, we have become way, way, way too involved in each other's business. And that's kind of one of the things that we were talking about on Messenger. I shouldn't have to justify my actions. I need to observe what I feel is right, based upon what we're being guided to do. And if other people, saw me coming and going, I should never feel like I have to justify that or explain that to anybody. And that is the world that we're in right now, and I simply refuse to take part in that. And so that's where I'm at. And so as a result of that, what I'm doing is I'm developing a lot more kind of sanctuary around myself, and not sharing, all of the details of my life with basically only those who I really want to let in, and trust. But again, that goes back to social media, and it goes back to living in a neighborhood or being in a particular community. I can only imagine if people live in an apartment complex, and maybe it's very stringent, and they feel like every action is being watched, every move that they make is being watched. And it's an unfortunate thing to feel like there's that kind of scrutiny going on. And I just pray that on the other side of all of this, that we will feel that go away, and and be less judgmental, and all of that, to really kind of go back to that, to each their own, and to really get our nose out of each other's business, and definitely our judgment out of people's business. And like Angela had posted on the group chat, it's between God and you. And So anyway, so that's where I'm at. And so I haven't done any yoga today, but I would like to do a practice with you guys. So I did put the doggy away today. So, so we're going to actually just get to have peace, which is amazing. So anyway, I do appreciate this time because it has definitely made me think about my relationship with God, and maybe in a more, rigorous way, because of how much we've had to abstain from so many worldly pleasures, whether it's shopping or eating out or things like that. And again, I go back to saying that it's just, to me, so surreal that it's during this season of Lent this is occurring. And so where I needed my own, forgiveness and to seek forgiveness, I've been doing that. And I would say, I'm at a point where I feel like, I definitely felt, very much under attack and very much under persecution in my own way. And whether that's real or imagined, it doesn't really matter, because if it's what I felt, it's what I felt. So I definitely felt that going on in my particular world. And it's hard to not take that personally. It's hard to not make that about yourself. It's hard to not feel offended. But I'm working through all of that. And again, I'm just going back to really going deep into my own relationship with God, seeking His forgiveness, seeking His love, knowing I am forgiven. And my friend Will said, you need to stop saying that you're a sinner. You're saved in the blood of Christ. And so here we are. And the point is, it's a real thing when we seek to be healed and to be forgiven and to be reborn. It's a real thing. And so we don't need to apologize for that. We don't need to explain that to anybody. And so I just get to be with that. I get to be with the work that God is doing in my life and feel tremendous gratitude for that. And in my son's life, our relationship is better than it's been. And it's been good always, but he was so busy since we moved here that we lost some of our connections. So this has been a huge blessing in this time, is to really connect my son and I in a better way, and at the heart level in a better way. So I feel like, God willing, we're going to be out of the woods before too long. And that's going to be a whole different ball of wax, right? But I am feeling a sense of peace. I'm feeling a sense of acceptance. I'm feeling that I'm learning who to let in. And, there may be some days I let someone in, and other days I find more of my own personal space. It doesn't have to be just black or white. There can be some gray in that, but I get to really claim that for myself. And I get to be my own captain, so to speak, of this space, of this sanctuary, of my soul, of myself. And it's not open for judgment. So anyone who wants to can keep their socially appropriate distance from me. Okay, I'm just sounding off. Anyhow, so let's go ahead and, we're standing, so let's go ahead and move our arms. So inhaling. You're going to draw your hands through their heart space. And I'm just so grateful for what we're getting to share here. It's helping me. I hope it's helping you. It's helping me to feel that connection to what's good. Inhaling and exhaling. To know we have true yogi friends out there. Inhaling. Being a yogi isn't just, what you're doing. It's a state of mind. It's a state of heart. Inhaling. Are you a lover or are you a judger? It's basically the distinguishing factor. Inhaling. Do you love others or do you judge others? So wherever those that have judged you, send them just some love. That's all you have to do, is send them the energy. And I sent that link about Om Shanti. So let's say Om Shanti, moving our hands like this. You're going to inhale. Shantis. Shanti. My door here is cracked open, and it's a little bit rainy here in Ohio, and so there's just a quiet. And I love the idea of those ohms rippling outward. So another thing I wanted to say too before we get going is there seems to be a little bit of fear around the practice of yoga. I actually had a conversation with some friends of mine in Texas at one point where they were afraid to practice yoga because they thought that it wasn't Christian, and that is just not the truth. And I know all of you guys who are part of this get that, but it's just not the truth. So sometimes I think it's that, sometimes I think that it's that there's just fear, like what are we tapping into that's helping us? And, is that legal? And the answer is absolutely positively. And it's my deep-seated belief that Jesus went and studied yoga. So I've been studying yoga a long time, and there's a very prevalent mentality that exists out there that those were his lost years, so that he was learning this practice in whatever form back then. But anyways, so on that note, let's go ahead and come down to the mat on our hands and knees, and you're going to twist out your spine. But I'm in an area that's quite conservative, and so you can kind of pick up on that feeling that if I were to go to the community clubhouse and want to start, if I was encouraging any ohms, I might not get to teach yoga there anymore. So, but I can send them out into the atmosphere. So let's go ahead and come into a child's pose. And just rest. And there's something about modifying things. I used to do that a lot back in the day. If I felt like a particular group of people maybe wasn't really okay with ohming, I would modify that, and I wouldn't maybe have us do that. But I'm just done with that, because I believe in the power of it, 1,000 gazillion %. So let's go ahead and lift our hips to the sky and walk your dog out. So I want you to breathe through your nose. It's a count of 5, inhaling and exhaling. And so if you can here, take a leg up. You can do this on a knee as well. So if it's too hard for you to do it with a straight leg, come down onto that knee and just do some hip circles. Good, you guys. From here, drop a knee. I'm going to be facing, from the back, but you can just turn towards me. Circle your arms. So this is an inhale and an exhale. So we're just getting connected to the breath flow here. Coming into that sublime energy of peace, of calm, like the ocean waves. So go ahead and, actually I'm going to take one more variation here, so just bear with me, because this is my practice for the day. So go ahead and switch sides now, and you're on the other side. So has anyone ever not felt peaceful at the ocean? Breathe and meditate on that. Peace is you. Peace is you. It's in you. What is that saying? Peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, hard work. It means to be in the midst of it all and to still be calm in your heart, calm in your heart. So let's go ahead to be in the midst of persecution. And it doesn't mean it's going to be, you know, in the snap of a finger, but through this practice and through community, you can find calmness in your heart and you can overcome it. So let's go ahead and go to downward facing dog. So here, guys, a little bit, you're going to take that right knee, bring it up, and you're working through your core a little bit. Step forward to the front, back foot's going to go flat. So again, any modifications you're doing on your back knee, and we're going to open to the side. So you're going to go into a warrior two. So for you, you probably have your left knee bent. And just before I go any further, just make sure I definitely am. Okay, I'm recording. I was like, please tell me. Okay, so now we're going to do a dancing warrior. So you're inhaling back and exhaling. You're going to do this 2 more times. So you're inhaling back, exhaling. And thanks to you guys, you're helping me to expand my practice too. Inhaling, exhaling. Sweep this arm, and you're in a squat. Inhaling the hands out, exhaling. Toes are relaxed. You're not clenching in the toes. Inhaling, notice through your jaw, and exhaling. You're not alone. You're not alone. Inhaling, exhaling. If anyone here is feeling alone, call me. Let me know, right? Let's talk. Because it's just, for the most part, pretty much my son and I. All right, so now dancing warrior here. Inhaling. Hanging out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Good, you guys. So now I want you to go triangle pose. So what you're looking for in this pose is you want your spine parallel to the earth. So we're looking for like a really flat line here alongside, for you, the left side of your body, if you're mirroring me. And so what you do to get into that is you bend that knee deep. You elongate through here, and then you don't lose that length. So you straighten the legs. So that may be kind of tricky for some of you guys if you're newer, but just work into it the best you can. I'm going to take one more variation. Breathe. And then I'm going to turn over that back leg. So that should be your right leg for you. If you're mirroring, you're going to lunge. This is an inhale. When you exhale, lengthen over your right leg. Let your head bow down. Inhaling. It's not about ego. Exhaling. Inhaling. The grace of God doesn't make us egotistical, it makes us more loving. Exhaling. Bend that knee and step back. So you're in a modified push-up. Twist the spine. You're actually just on your hands and knees, really. And go ahead and lower down all the way to the ground. So this first one, actually, no, let's not do that. Let's keep moving. Let's just go ahead and strengthen the legs, point the toes, hands are next to the chest, and you're going to bend the elbows. And once you get here, massage the spine. So you're going to kind of just sway back and forth, and then child's pose. So sitting back onto the heels. Breathing deep, you're inhaling to 5 and exhaling to 5. So inhaling through the nose if you can. Exhaling through your nose. God is love, God is peace. Twisting the spine.